So is Sarah Palin running for 2012? Is she planning this run? That's a question on everybody's mind this week. And the mainstream media is exhausting itself with speculation. Even the liberal New York Times made it front page news, further feeding the curiosity flame. Palin announced today that she's launching the One Nation tour this weekend. Now, it's a bus trip through our nation's historical sites from D.C. all throughout New England, and that includes New Hampshire. Meanwhile, a brand new Gallup poll has Palin, along with former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, leading the current GOP 2012 pack. Now, other frontrunners include Texas Congressman Ron Paul, Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. Joining me now with reaction, New York Daily News columnist, Fox News contributor Andrea Tantaros, and Fox News legal analyst and host, and FoxNewsLive.com, Kimberly Guilfoyle. Guys, good to see you.
Hi, great to be here.
All right, this bus. Let's go back to the bus here, because two things now.
Don't say back to the bus. Remember, only the president can say that. Remember, Republicans?
Okay. Well,
you need to get to the back, right?
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
He did say that.
We need to get to the back of the bus,
that's
Sean.
right.
Go ahead. Okay.
All right.
Back to the bus.
I'm a little slow. It's Thursday. All right. So Governor Palin said to Greta, which is interesting, I have a fire in the belly.
Right.
Now we got a bus.
Now we got a bus.
Wait a minute.
That's a campaign.
Well, but there's more than. But go ahead. But so it seems to me, if you would have asked me a week ago, I wouldn't have thought. She might. Now I do.
She said fire in the belly, and at first I thought she meant maybe some kind of indigestion over the way the press was treating her family, which is justifiable. But I'm telling you, I agree with you. If she doesn't run, Sean, this is the biggest head fake in presidential politics I've ever seen, because we don't know. Everybody is wondering if she'll jump in. And I tell you, the liberal media, they are just gnashing their teeth. They cannot wait to sink their teeth in her. They're just hoping she gets in.
Would be the favorite thing for them to do.
Independence Hall, Gettysburg, Liberty Hall, Federal Hall. Restoring the good in America. Our nation is at a critical turning point. This was all on Drudge earlier this afternoon. As we look to the future, we're propelled by America's past. We celebrate the good things that bring Americans together. Sounds a lot like a campaign.
Look, I think she wants to run, okay? And her time is now. If she sits this one out, what kind of, ground movement is she going to have next time around?
Sits out 2012.
If she sits out 2012, yeah, I think she's got the momentum. She certainly has the fundraising ability. But it's interesting because she did buy a home, right, in Arizona. So some people are speculating whether or not she would go back into government and go as a U.S. senator and try that around. But nevertheless, I think she would be a compelling candidate. But can she win the general election? Because, well, there's a lot of lover or hater. People have very strong feelings about Sarah Palin. The people that support her
people have strong feelings
really
about the anointed one, about our president.
Well, that's his problem, too. Can he get over 50%? So you have to take a look at that in terms of getting the nomination. But, of course, she's a favorite of the Tea Party and social conservatives.
What is her biggest difficulty? What would be her biggest challenge, your best advice if she gets in this campaign?
I think it's just a depth of knowledge. I mean, I think it's just she is very politically shrewd. Even her enemies say that she has got incredible instincts. But because of flubs and gaffes that happened during the 2008 campaign, where I believe she was grossly mishandled by her staff, I think that they doubt that she has the breadth and depth of experience for the office. I do wonder, though, if I'm Michelle Bachmann, she hasn't announced yet. What is Michelle Bachmann thinking? Both of them have not jumped in. If Palin jumps in, that really hurts Michelle
Bachmann told me that she was speeding up her announcement, maybe in the next week or two.
Wouldn't you?
To kind of put it off.
A bus with Sarah Palin's face on it?
No, she said this before this bus came out.
Oh, all right. So,
look, Bachmann wants to run, Palin wants to run, but they want to run and win. And in what combination, president or VP, that's also an interesting play.
Too.
Depending on who runs, they need a social conservative, and like somebody like Romney's going to need one in as well.
Especially
to help his
in
campaign.
Iowa, I think a social conservative.
Absolutely,
would do very well.
Bachmann does very well.
Let me ask both of you. Let me go back to the issue of free speech. Ed Schultz, comments about Laura Ingraham, followed by a suspension, followed by an apology, my attitude is I believe in free speech. Did they handle this correctly?
I think they handled it correctly, and really kind of his conduct was inexcusable. I think his apology was somewhat sincere, but nevertheless, where do you go off like saying something like that about her? It's totally inappropriate.
What if I called any Democratic woman a slut?
Oh, forget about it. Look, Laura Ingraham is an attractive, conservative, white, female, blonde. They hate conservatives. Sean, it is the last acceptable form of misogyny in this country. Hatred, prejudice towards conservative females.
Bachmann
Look what happened to Don Imus.
Bachmann and Palin
fired.
continued.
Yeah, Sean, you would be fired too. I mean, look, I'm all for free speech. It's what I do. It lets me sit here, but it means responsible speech.
You should also be appropriate.
It's not my vernacular.
Can't be rude.
You know, go through the alphabet. You know, and you can certain letters, certain words you never say about a woman, to a woman.
Well, it's an issue of character. Okay, so when you're looking at someone like Ed Schultz, you look at someone like there's a very big difference. So this guy, I'm sure this is not the last of we hear from him in terms of his gaffes.
They embarrass themselves when they do this. The best traits I think that conservative women have, among all the others, but particularly a Sarah Palin, a Laura Ingraham.
Smarter.
No, they expose that's true, but they expose, Sean, the worst side of liberals. They make them go crazy, and they expose what ugly, unfair, and just hypocritical.
When you demonize women
this morning,
like this.
Can I point out this morning on MSNBC, the special, How to Empower Women, or some special about knowing your value? How ironic that Mika Brzezinski hosts a special this morning about knowing your value. Huh.
All right. Guys, good to see you both. Appreciate it.